we are all here today as representatives of a province-wide climate youth group called AYLEE, which stands for Alberta Youth Leaders for Environmental and Energy Education. I joined AYLEE after hearing about it from my teacher. I've been an active member of my school's environmental club for more than 2 years, and I noticed that a lot of environmental initiatives often put an emphasis on action as opposed to education. For example, like many initiatives, they promote installation of solar panels or planting of trees. And these are things that are very important, but they can also all be done in a few years and you can almost immediately see the results. However, there is a lack of focus amongst our climate movement about long-term plans that involve educating the next generation. The focus of AYLEE is specifically on education. We recognize that the education is a vital part of a long-term solution to the climate crisis. Supported by the Alberta Council for Environmental Education, or ACE, AYLEE has bi-weekly meetings and we discuss and collaborate on various topics. Sometimes we even invite guest speakers to come teach us more about the environment and climate. This year in particular, we are focusing on finding common ground within our communities, schools, and province-wide. And we're here today to tell you a little bit about the work we've done so far.
So environmental education has been pushed aside and put on the back burner for many, as we saw with the new curriculum release. But it's time we change that. Youth across Alberta are speaking out and asking that they be heard. Environmental education should be part of the curriculum and incorporated in as many subjects in school as possible. This topic of environmental education and educational reform is so prevalent right now in today's society, but we are so subject to change that we shy away from the truth. Programs that offer this type of learning are few and far between, and otherwise kids are forced to turn to the internet to answer their questions. Youth don't have proper access to learning that they desire. AYLEE has recently written and published a piece by the Calgary Herald titled "Alberta Students Want Climate Energy Added to Curriculum." This article was written by youth and showcased the wanton drive we have, as well as the reality of talking about climate change and education reform when it comes to the environment and education system in Alberta.
So one of the core tenets of AYLEE's work is our recommendations for the future of education, our curriculum, and school environments. We discuss what we believe is lacking, we survey youth and teens, and we come up with actionable solutions to the problems that we find. We first published a collection of these ideas in a white paper written in 2016. That white paper was updated in 2019 and was actually presented to the Minister of Education in 2020. The white paper includes recommendations for education and curriculum reform throughout all grades and subjects to better integrate the subjects of climate and environmental awareness, education, and action. This includes more outdoor education, science experiments and current events, research projects, and health studies. Another central point of the paper is professional development. It concerns both youth within AYLEE and also in their own school communities that teachers and education workers don't have access to up-to-date information and relevant resources when it comes to environmental education. Teachers must regularly learn too. This subject is always changing, and it's up to teachers to provide the most accurate and engaging resources possible. School infrastructure must also change. Some schools don't even have universal recycling and compost programs. We have to focus on making our schools more environmentally friendly through renovations and policy, implementing new technologies and practices, and increasing our efficiency while we reduce waste. Finally, the white paper lays out hope for a transition in our school transportation, away from diesel engine buses that spew massive amounts of carbon emissions into the atmosphere, and moving towards electric, hydrogen, or biofuel-based transportation options. So these are just the basics of the white paper. If you want to learn more, you can go to abcee.org/AYLEE. Now we're going to hear from Subhashini.
Hi, my name is Subhashini, a grade 9 student going to Queen Elizabeth High School in Calgary. Over the course of the summer of 2020, AYLEE students, including myself, got the opportunity to make a video with artist Hannah Gelderman on our vision for the future of climate education in Alberta. This vision is one of many possibilities, and we aimed for a video to be shared among Albertans. We wanted this video to bring out optimism, hope, and our recommendations for climate and environmental education. Now we're going to play a short clip from the video, from our ending sequence. Feel free to watch the entire video afterwards.
This school looks so much better than we hoped for when my friends and I started trying to improve it 12 years ago. When I was a student, we had hardly any environmental education. There was just lots of contradictory information, and we felt confused and distraught.
How did the increase in environmental education actually happen?
Good question. The government increased school funding and implemented a new curriculum. Decision makers and school boards put more resources towards environmental education and school retrofits. Teachers had more professional learning on these topics, so they understood the challenges better and the intricate connections between subjects. Our group was able to present many of our ideas, and we felt like we had a voice in our education and people were really listening. It was so energizing when things really started to change. I felt more confident and hopeful about my future with each year.
Wow. Thanks for all your work that helped make these changes happen.
It truly was a collaborative effort. I am so grateful for the people and organizations that supported us.
Oftentimes, it is said that something is too big, impossible to reach, or not practical.
But change is shaped by the imaginations of those who believe that something better is possible.
Lives improved because of the actions of many who work to make their courageous visions a reality.
We know education has the potential to cultivate hope and prepare us for our futures. Join us to help make this a reality.
Enjoyed that video segment. After finding a possible vision for our future, we wanted to hear from youth across Alberta and on what their perceptions about climate and environmental education were. We did this through a youth-led environmental education poll. We created the questions and shared it among our youth communities across Alberta. We ended up having 318 responses.
So we have taken many steps in hosting community events and campaigns that help spread this message of environmental education. These events help us youth at AYLEE connect with our communities and people who can help us and youth around Alberta create change. A couple members at AYLEE recently met with Council Member Drew Farrell and discussed more about what youth would like to see implemented into their schools and communities. They also had an opportunity to ask questions and receive their insightful answers. A fairly new event that AYLEE has hosted twice so far is a workshop. Everyone is welcome, especially students. We talk about our experiences, listen to others, and work through the different issues that we've all commonly faced. Along with these events we attend and host, we also attend parent council meetings and conferences. We want our voices heard and our message to be spread. One subject from an ACE report that really resonated with me was when it comes to protecting the environment, the top barriers cited by responding youth included, quote, "I don't know what to do," end quote. Kids across Alberta are here and are wanting to take action, but don't know how or where to start. Youth are asking the questions, but have no one to listen and answer them. It's important that kids across the province know that someone is there for them and has their back. To end, from all of us at AYLEE, thank you so much for taking the time and attending this forum and hearing us out. If you wanted to stay up to date or have any students interested in joining us, you can visit our Instagram page at AB Youth for Enviro Education or at our Twitter at AB Youth for EE. Thank you guys so much again.